Mr. Moreno, would you give us an introduction to yourself, please?
First of all, good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. Thank you for the invitation to participate so that we can engage one another on important topics in our city. My name is Jose F. Moreno. Let me emphasize Jose F. Moreno with a 1. Number 1 on the ballot, number 1 in your heart. Got to be cheesy sometimes. I live in central Anaheim. I have 4 daughters in our public education system, 9th grade, 7th grade, 5th grade, and 3rd grade. And I am running for city council because I see the world through their eyes. I see the world through the eyes that I grew up in. And so I want to make our city better. Our city is wonderful. Different parts of our city are thriving, and other parts of our city are struggling. And I see that through the lens of my children every single day, taking them to soccer practice, taking them to school, working with families and parents in our neighborhoods. But it's not only a question of struggling with poverty, but struggling with ideas of direction. What do we want to be as a city? What do we want to be as adults? And how do we want to mentor our children to be when they grow up? I grew up in Oxnard, California, in Ventura County, and was raised in an immigrant family. We came to this country at the age of 4 on what's called a 1.5 generation. I am because at some point you'll probably get a hit piece. You should know I was an undocumented immigrant. I was a Reagan baby. I earned my pathway to citizenship through the 1986 Pathway to Citizenship Bill of Amnesty, which was a bipartisan bill for immigration. So through that lens is how I see Anaheim. I see the beauty of the promise of Disneyland and the happiest place on earth, but I experience neighborhoods that are not often the happiest, but still have a lot of hope. So I'm running because of my 8 years on the school board. We've done everything that we can to improve education with our kids. And as a professor and researcher in education, we know that we cannot improve schools until we improve their neighborhoods, or at least simultaneously. We have to invest in their neighborhoods, in their families, and the city overall if we're going to improve schools the way that we'd like them to be. So over the last several years, I've heard glaringly, really difficult stories from parents that their issues are not always, or even hardly anymore, inside the school. They're what's happening outside the school. So that's what prompted me to run for city council, is because out of frustration, but also out of a hope that I believe that we need multiple voices on the council that can ask questions that perhaps are not asked at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno.